Okay, let's tidy things up here a little bit. I'm just gonna try a playlist on Spotify that is royalty free for Twitch streams and YouTube, and it was awful. So instead, I'm just gonna listen to Spotify in my headphones, and you can just listen to whatever you got going on yourself. I don't really expect anyone to watch this stream. Alright, so what do we got? We got credential, premium, and base wage. That I definitely care about. Utility of workers, I think that was really just sort of their productivity, or I guess their wage minus their reservation wage. We got our credential probabilities over here. And we've got the ability to turn the signal on and off. We've got variable number of workers and employees, so we could see what happens when we have only a few workers. Set this up, 3 high ability, 3 low ability, 4 with a credential. You know what? I'm going to encode a little bit of information in their heading. And I got some notes here I'll come back to. Let's see. The heading. What was I thinking? Oh yeah, let's have the credentialed employees head in a different direction. They're not actually going to do anything, but that'll just make it a little bit easier to see who has the credential. Again, these guys facing down have the credential. So it takes some time to run all of these offers. Mean utility workers 165. This employer 0. Base wage of 104. Credential premium of 82. So these 2 workers are doing pretty good. These 2 workers are also doing pretty good. They're getting 104. And then this worker, what's going on with them? Utilities 199. Has the credential. But doesn't have a job. Alright. That's good to know. Let's see if we can't figure that out. Let's see. You know what? I think this might be... We ask, no, they shouldn't even be offered a chance to do take best offer. They should be just going straight to produce. Produce, here we go. So they got no links, so they work for myself. When they do work for myself, if they're high ability, they set their utility to their reservation wage. We are implicitly assuming that the credential is useless if you work for yourself. What's going on with this guy? Got a credential. Has low ability. He's getting utility of 199. I think there must be something wrong in how we're doing the hire one of workers. We create a link. I'm also gonna make this just whatever. No, I'm gonna leave it as it is. So I wonder if this turtle was offered a job. All right, because they would have been offered. Let's see. Why do I keep closing this? So utility 199, which means let's go show employers with base wage plus credential premium equals 199. I wonder if I can do this. No turtles. Okay, so I can do some math in here. So let's see who's offering only 8. Let's ask employers, let's just have them turn right. Oops, where did I go? Let's try that again. Ask these employers to set heading to 90. Yeah, there they are. Base wage 155. They're offering 188. It's 167 to a credentialed worker. Do I have someone way down in the bottom left? No. Who's this? This is... there we go. What's that? 113 plus 81 would be 194. Anyone else here? Let's set color to green, make them a little bit easier to find. Let's go ahead and have them. What's their size right now? Size is 3. So we set their size to, let's say, 10 times. That's going to make them bigger. And then something divided by 200. Something is base wage plus credential premium. No, that was too big. All right. I hit parentheses in the wrong spot. So let's go with this again. So they all offering roughly the same wage to someone with a credential? Again, my question here is why are these two who are low ability but credentialed getting utility 199? Set utility to reservation wage. The reservation wage was 0. Just need some reformatting. Baby.
Where's Lola? Maybe she's upstairs. I overlooked her.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Just streaming some coding, but not stuff I expect anyone to watch, so just looking at my model, picking it apart, and making sense of it.
That means rather than like bloop, 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 bloop. That's what it means to me. I don't get it, but I respect that you are trying to get it. Cool. All right. Well, I have a headache.
Yeah.
There you are. What are you up to?
Alright.
You guys canoodling over there?
This makes one of my inlinks to if the wage is greater than my reservation wage, accept that job. I think what's going on is it's just not showing the we're killing links somewhere.
I knew that.
What's going on here? Alright, I'll come back to that later. I want to see where am I killing links.
Hey, cat. What? Nothing. That's what we want. You know I don't speak Spanish.
What did I hit? What have I done? I do something funny on my keyboard. Nah, it still works. Maybe I hit insert or something. Boom, I'm gonna open that. Close the other one. Pretend like it never happened. Alright. So I'm looking for where I ask links to die. Alright, we've got the evolutionary procedure. It's only happening here. So at some point, we set up, we go once. We got all these offers going out. And these two turtles over here should just take what offer they get. But here's this guy, 104 again. What's up with 104? Utility of 184. I'm going to try something maybe a little bit weird. Let's I like this. So now we can tune the randomness a little bit. So now we're starting with an initial base wage of an average of 50, standard deviation 11, premium of 34, right? So we could push that up. Standard deviation of whatever I want, right? So I can kind of move this around a little bit. So again, we got all these offers going out. We got only one worker took a job. Don't we ask all the employers? Right, make the turtles. We give them these figures. Set their headings so that we can maybe make that indicate something in the future. Employers search for workers. Let's look at that. They check out 5 workers. And they attempt to hire. They basically make an offer. They say we're going to create a link to that worker, which is initially just a randomly chosen worker. We go to that worker. We create a link with that worker. We set a wage that's based on my base wage as an employer. And if we're playing the signal variation and if you have a credential, right, if the credential value is true for the worker, then we set the wage to the wage, which was already the base wage, plus my credential premium as an employer. And we mark the link as false for accepted. So we do that, and that makes sense. Right? I can ask turtle 0 to hire one of the workers. Alright, creates a link there. Let's inspect that link. Wage of 62.5. And this worker is high ability. Their reservation wage is 100. So let's ask worker 100 to take best offer. This should kill the link. Did it? No. Forgetting my brackets again. There. Kills the link because the wage doesn't cover their opportunity cost, their reservation wage. So it's worker 102. So now Turtle Zero is offering a job to worker 102. Worker 102. It's utility 167 right now. Do this. They're still getting 167. And then when we produce workers with the links, so this worker would set production to 50, and then they would set their utility to the wage employers. The profit, the production of their links minus what they pay out on wages. Alright, I feel fine about every part of the model except the model itself as a whole. But you know what? This is sort of par for the course. Alright, let's add some workers, reduce the number of employers. We've got the workers arranged based on high ability on the right, low ability on the left. And then we're going to move them up and down based on their utility. Save my work. Alright, so we got a bunch of high-skilled workers who maintain their reservation wage. We got a bunch who have wrapped around. They've gone all the way up, down through the bottom, and they're getting really high utility. There's like 130, 150. Reservation wage is 100. That all seems fine. They got a credential. These guys don't have credentials. We got some workers here with credentials. And again, their link is not showing up. Let's follow this worker. No, let's not follow this worker. Let's watch this worker. Watch. All right. This worker's got a good job. They're getting overpaid. Oh, their boss just went under. Oh, now they got a worse job. Alright, this makes sense on a micro level, and now it seems like... well, it seems like we've got workers with more than one job. So, now, here's the problem. No, is that the problem? No, because they should be all the ones who have more than one offer take the best one. So we ask my inlinks. Let's try it with just my links. Is that fine? To produce. What the hell happened here? No. There's the problem. was supposed to be and make those turtles. Premium base, that's fine. Alright. Somehow I randomly pasted that in there. I'm pretty sure that's the fault of the IDE, but maybe not. And hey, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. They gave me a pretty fantastic little project, so I'm not going to complain. Just going to be careful. Alright, so we got... No, we're getting workers with more than one job again. Alright. Ask max one of my lengths based on wage. If the wage is greater than my reservation wage, then I accept. If the wage isn't high enough... Alright, let's clean this up. This is where it was freezing just a second ago. So we'll say if... oh, you know what? They accepted a job and then they accepted a job and then they got a new offer and they kept both jobs. So what we want is ask mylinks to set accepted to false, and then ask max one of. There, that should fix it. Actually, I could have just run it where that was, but run this a few times. Let's create a little temporary monitor. So we'll show max. Actually, it automatically shows. Let's go max count mylinks of turtles. That's going to be an integer. We don't need decimals. We've got an employer with 12 employees. Let's go max count mylinks of workers. Alright, there we go. Let's just run it. Let's see what happens. Alright. We still have a pretty high success rate of getting the credential for low ability workers. Alright. Oh yeah, we've separated those, so we're actually making it so that if anything, the signal is a counter signal. But that credential premium is still high. It's only been 28 ticks. Let's let it run a longer time. So we see our profit goes back up. Our utility fell. Let's update. Let's see. Mean utility is 72. Utility 49. So they're getting paid 49 bucks. And that has got to be credential premium of maybe -1 plus a base wage of 36. So who's that we were looking at? 62? 49. Well, I guess they're all at the same height. That seems a little bit weird. Their position on the y-axis is supposed to be based on utility, so they're all really, really close. What am I looking for? In-link neighbor. Link between a turtle and a caller. I want to find the command that will let me ask who's hiring 62. Let's see. I think maybe. Create links, hide link. So this is the agent set of all turtles that have direct links coming from them to the caller. So we can ask worker 67 to ask in-link neighbors to set size to 3. To 13. Now, 62. 62. Let's do this. That's an agent set, but how do I unravel that agent set? 62, that's what I'm looking at. Huh. Alright. Well, that should have been way more obvious. Employer 978. Offering credential premium of 5, base wage of 44. That explains the 49, and that explains why there's so many turtles with that utility, because they all work at the same place. Oh man, is this... Okay, that's saved. Alright. Let's clear that out. Now, let's view updates. Alright. Try it again. Alright, here's our setup. We're starting with wages around here, base wage of 50-ish, and a pretty big premium. We go. Let's flip these success rates. Utility is pretty high. 27 workers out of 38 have a credential. Credential premium is still 80-ish. Base wage is still close to 50. I'm going to delete this. This is showing in between ticks. Man, this is pretty computationally heavy. What do we got? We got 41 employers reaching out to 5 workers. All right. Max profit is really noisy. Whoa, there we go. Workers are still getting pretty well paid. Did I not subtract out the reservation wage? Man, we haven't even got 1,000 ticks. Base wage is going down. The credential premium is at 83, which means they're paying credentialed workers just above 100, which is just enough to get them to come into work. Base wage still has some room. It could go down because they could still get unqualified or uncredentialed workers, uncredentialed, low qualified workers. All right, let's stop. We got two employers. One of them specializing in hiring these 6 workers who don't have a credential and are low ability. I guess if all the employers looked at all of the workers, then some of these employers would win out, right? This guy would not be able to find any workers. This guy who's paying is probably sort of a 45-degree line where you increase your base wage but decrease your credential premium, but it still amounts to paying these credentialed workers a good amount, but they got some low ability credentialed workers. That's going to bite them. Right now, these guys, I guess, are producing 150, so they're paying the bills. Profit's 150, so they're doing okay, despite paying some workers who maybe they shouldn't be. All right, let's take a look at what my notes are for today. Firms need to look at more workers at a time. Well, let's go ahead and change that immediately. Let's make it explicit. Candidate pool size. Yeah, I know. Come on. let's start it at 10. Alright. That one should be easy. Bidding wages down to workers' marginal cost rather than bidding them up to employers' marginal benefit. Or do the population numbers matter? So, right now, there are survival pressures on employers to keep costs down, but if someone else outbids them, let's see what happens. Let's make a plot to keep track of the wages. Let's reduce the size of this a bunch. So we got to 10,000 ticks right quick. Main utility, 83-ish. We got, what, a couple credentialed workers, one uncredentialed worker. The credential premium, 69 base wage minus 25. So these guys are just working for themselves. And this guy is working for minus 25. Or working for 0. Oh, no, they got a premium. So they've got the credentials. So they're getting paid a positive amount that they're getting paid $50 total. All right, so credential premium, let's all right, so now we got one high ability worker with the credential. So credentialed worker is bouncing all over the place. Our uncredentialed high ability worker, I think, is just working for themselves. And then our low ability worker is kind of bouncing all over the place. Worker 5. Utility 49 again? That can't be right. I got some kind of a bug in here. Utility 149. Just 49. This doesn't seem right. let's at least make note of this. Might just need to refactor and clear out the crap. So this I'm still not totally sure about. Bidding wages up or down. Burning your diploma. I mean, with a negative credential premium, I'm going to leave that alone for now. We'll just kind of say if probability of success is higher for high ability, then we get reasonable stories. I guess you could kind of think of it as, it's whatever signal. It doesn't have to be a credential. So if there's some credential that low ability workers are more likely to get, like showing up to a job interview in their pajamas, then maybe that's what's going on. Yeah, so credential isn't necessarily the right word. And speaking of refactoring, credential and credential premium really should be signal and signal premium. So let's change credential premium to signal premium, which might be a negative premium. Any others? Alright, so uh-oh. Note to self, don't fold code if you're doing find and replace. Let's go credential, let's change to signal question mark. Go to the top. Alright, I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to remember that switch is currently called signal. So somewhere I've got signal. This signal. So this is the switch. Ooh, whoops, what was that? Ah, that was a problem I had with the folded code. There we go, alright. Edit this. Also get main utility of workers with signal. signal. Let's keep those all together. I don't really want that one. Let's get rid of it. Alright, so I'm still definitely doing something weird with the utility. Different method for granting credentials. Alright, hey, I have done that refactoring on the name. Maybe that's something that I'd like for credentials, something that can continuously update. So turtles might seek out the credential if they see high utility from turtles with the credential. Might be a way to do that, but I'm going to come to that later. For now, I'll just take it as there's some probability that they get the signal. And right now, let's make that. And this will be set up. Get rid of that. Don't need that comment anymore. Work history might come some other time. Alright, so right now the signal premium and the base wage is essentially a firm taking a business model that says, here's how we're going to pay, and if it's successful, they survive, and if not, they die out. So the population of employers is reflecting something about how effective those forecasts are. Right? The forecast is essentially, is it worth paying this? We can cut out that bit of comments. So the lemons. Alright, we do have something along those lines. The employers are effectively going to do that. Without the signal, what is going to happen? Let's check that out. Let's see if we still have the lemons. So we turn off the signal variance, so it's just the base wage that matters. Right? So base wage of 50. When we run this, our base wage, it should go to, what, 75-ish, since we got a 50% chance. Let's just increase our number of workers. So we should have 10 high ability, 10 low ability workers. When they're employed, they produce 150 or 50. So an average of 100, an average wage of 100 should be enough to break even. But if you just pay less and only hire low quality employees, but you don't pay them much, that is probably the winning strategy. So let's see here. It's been almost 5,000 rounds, and we got one employer who is paying 60-ish. They're paying more than anyone else. They're getting a bunch of workers, except for those workers who are currently already working here. We should see some of these 5 switch over to this if we run it a couple more times. Yeah. Oh, and that employer just ran out of money. Oh, they split up. That's cool. But we definitely have the high quality workers are out of this market. Our mean base wage is down to 34. So it's going to bounce around. Sometimes it might go lower, right? It's never going to go too high for too long. And then especially when you kind of are starting from a biased start point where you already have 3 low quality workers, if you raise your wage enough to pick up some of these guys, you're kind of already saddled with these guys. All right, so I feel good about the lemons. All right, let's go and write a little bit of stuff here. Information in there. Cool. So we got the markets for lemons. The signal. Let's make sure we feel good about the signal. So let's make it so the low skilled workers never get the credential. So we got 6 workers with the credential. That should be out of 10. Our credential premium. Why is that not showing up? Oh, I know why. I gotta change this to signal premium. Alright, that was only 1,000 ticks. Let's start again. So, base wage, credential premium, looks kind of like a random walk so far. With a candidate pool of 10, these employers are looking at a wide range of these workers. They're hiring up the workers with the credential. Signal premium is 100. Workers with the signal are getting 158, something like that. The ones without the signal are getting 50-ish. So the base wage really hasn't changed that much. I think that's partly because we just don't have enough employers to cover the space enough, our parameter space. Let's add a few employers. Let's bring it up to 10, 11, whatever. I'm going to reduce the candidate pool size just to speed things up. credential premiums rising. Our base wage is maybe a little bit falling. One thing I might want to do is make their X and Y coordinates relative to the maximum utility or profit or wage or whatever, so that they're not going up above the screen. Let's go and look at that. Let's make a new procedure. Let's go set XY to I think in the evolve, there we go. That should do it for employers. Oh. Everyone's close. That wasn't quite what I wanted. Let's run this a bunch. Still way down there. Alright. How do I fix this? So let's go for a min of 100 or something else. I just changed that so that they go as high as the top but never higher. Let's see, how big is my world? 110. Let's just make that max of 108. So they're offering a pretty high credential premium. Base wage still close to 50, well 40. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at my notes. So, Alright, so we don't have the ability for any agency on the credential. We've done the reservation wage. Got this. Alright. Let's go ahead and look at how we set utility. Set utility to the wage. And let's go minus my reservation wage. And when I work for myself, I think that's what my wage is. Set utility to the reservation wage. Alright, so we're happy with the wage basically if we're getting paid more than we would be doing as self-employed. The reservation wage, maybe we want that to be a slider also. Yeah, I've already got a note to do that. Alright, let's just watch mean utility. 50. Let's turn off the signaling. They're already offering a pretty high signal premium. And this, oh, actually no, they're not offering a signal premium because they're just offering a pretty high base wage. No, their base wage is like 50. Why are they still getting the, we're never asking these turtles to take best offer again. So if we turn off the signal midway, those high ability workers got hired because of the credential premium. It's like a signing bonus, and now they're just staying on. What's their utility look like? It's all 49 again? What the hell's going on here? Something funny's happening. Alright. Let's close it there. Alright, we'll save that. Let's go ahead and save for the next version, just so we don't accidentally start overwriting things. And yeah, I'll push it to GitHub in a little bit. Alright, let's stop.